Ay, 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 ay. Happy Cinco de Mayo. It's Saturday, May 5th, 2018. And welcome
Ay,
to
ay, ay,
all
ay.
of you.
Happy
Let's
Cinco
turn
de
off
Mayo.
this volume. Happy Saturday, everybody. We are in the living room of the Casa on the Rancho here. Guess we should really be calling it the Ranch House here. And we have set up this morning to try the cinnamon swirl coffee cake. And I'll tell you, Missy Jen, just on appearance itself, it looks pretty doggone nice, doesn't it?
Yes, it looks
Now
delicious.
the thing with the swirl, and good morning, Missy Jen, nice to see
What
you.
was it, girl?
The thing with the swirl is you get your bundt pan, and then you put the bottom of the bundt pan half of your uh, mixture, half of your batter, and then you put the cinnamon sugar combo on top of that, and then you put the rest of your batter on top. So you have a sandwich layer of cinnamon in here. So you can see, I think it turned out very, very nicely here this morning. So we're going to be enjoying it. It's glazed with a vanilla glaze. So this is a coffee cake. So we can enjoy eating that. And it's really made to be enjoyed. You can eat it straight up, or you can enjoy it with a little bit of butter on it too, a coffee cake. So let the side chat get a little populated. I guess everybody's out at Cinco de Mayo celebrating today. It's a big deal usually in our neighborhood, Missy Jen, but they took down that, they kind of took that village down over there. So it's,
Yeah, it took the village down, and yesterday there were everything was full with cars. There was a big
that's not to say it won't be going on
Class
today, but
A
who
park
knows?
and whatnot. It was like,
But I've got some big cleanup work to do. Need to get the irrigation system set up. Our rainy season is officially over. We won't get rain again till December or so. So we need to make sure that irrigation system is running. I may run out with Missy Jen. We need to get some new plants. We got marigolds out front, but for some reason they're being eaten up by earwigs and bugs out there. So we're going to have to pull them. Maybe get some petunias and some geraniums out there, something that lasts a little better. So don't see anybody out on the side chat yet. Did we start too early? Did we start too late? Who knows? So yeah, so what else is any other things about this? This is a very, very, very easy coffee cake to make. You can either make it in a ring or you can make it. I used a bundt pan. The batter is thick. Sometimes I worry about the uh, what did I worry about, Missy Jen? I worried about the batter seeping down underneath of the
yeah, the
ring you
thing.
pull out. Sometimes I made it. One time I made a batter that was a little too thin, and it kind of leaked out the bottom of the bundt pan and went onto the bottom of the stove. Oy vey, what a mess! What a mess that was. But this batter thickness was really good. So very simple ingredients: just some flour, some egg, 3/4 of a cup of butter in here. Making sure to this came from All Recipes, this coffee cake, this cinnamon swirl coffee cake. Um, and what else, Jen? Had to make sure to cream the butter and sugar well. Now, the recipe calls when you put your cinnamon layer between the layers of batter, it called for using regular sugar and cinnamon. I chose to use brown sugar for a more rich flavor in between those layers. So I'll be interested in seeing how that turns out today. So I think generally, then, Jen, a lot of stuff has been cleaned up and moved out here on the rancho. There's more stuff to go. Like I said, today is working on the irrigation system and making sure that that is ready to go because, out here we go from 50, 60 to 90 to 100 in a matter of days.
Yeah, so
and
it flips the switch. And
it flips the switch. Hi, BMAC. Nice to see you. Good morning to you.
Or good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you up in Canada there. and share our breakfast there. But out here, it just flips to summertime, and all of a sudden, before you even get caught up, your grass and your greens have already burned up in the sun, and it's a question of trying to bring them back in the heat, and it's very, very difficult. We do use well water to irrigate here. That makes a big difference cost-wise. The downside is there's a lot of irrigation lines that run around and a lot of places for breaks. Unfortunately, Millie Vanilli, the dog next door, chewed up the irrigation stuff in the back tomato bed. So, and because everything is all connected in one series here, if we have a break, it affects the whole line.
One big loop.
One big loop. So I hope you're doing good today, BMAC. So not many people around it. I guess everybody's at Cinco de Mayo today, celebrations. So normally we'd be up there, but if it was on a weekday or something, but I can't afford to give up a Saturday to check out and see where Cinco de Mayo is.
Yeah, they might have that at the fairgrounds.
Yeah, I don't think they're able to use this property where, I mean, Missy Jen's already been, I guess this would be your fourth Cinco de Mayo.
Actually, the fairgrounds are populated with the FEMA trailers.
Yeah, you got all the FEMA trailers for recovery of all the people that are over in after the fires last October. Like we just passed the official 6-month anniversary since the Great Santa Rosa fire. So yeah, we're still dealing with that.
Yeah, people will be living there for a year and a half, 18 months, and then who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm not sure what FEMA. Okay, BMAC says I just came back and it's a beautiful day to live by the ocean. BMAC, I'm guessing that you're in the Nova Scotia province. Is that correct? Up there. Near, I don't know what the hell it's called, Campobello and all over there. Okay, yeah, that's a beautiful place. I follow a channel. The guy's name is Dale Calder, Calder, and he used to be a customs inspector on the little bridge that connects Campobello. You have the United States on one side and you have Canada on the other side there. And he used to work as I think for 30-some years, he worked as a customs officer there. And he has a really great channel, very mellow. He built himself a little cabin in his yard and stuff and cooks out there. It's eventually what I'm going to do here when I can't really travel anymore or do too much. I'm going to go ahead and build my own little cabin out there and outfit it, and with wood stove and do cooking and other stuff out there. So that'd be a fun thing. Okay, you're at the other end of the province. Okay. Yeah, I think the Maritime province is very beautiful up there in Canada. It's really I think the coastline, I've seen the coastline up there before. It's absolutely gorgeous up in that area. It's an area I really like. Then I also like the Ontario province too. I do like Quebec province is the one I mean. Quebec province with especially Montreal. Montreal is a beautiful city up there. There's a lot to see and a lot to do in Montreal. So yeah, good for you. You live in a very beautiful place up there. I guess I kept everybody up too late last night or whatever. Huh? Well, maybe I'll just go ahead and cut it and make this a real short one this morning because I do have a lot of work to do. So I think that's exactly what I will do. I'm going to go ahead and cut the cake. We'll take a look at the inside of it. Many more people will watch this on a replay.
Oh yeah, people
out there. So let's go ahead and cut a piece for. Let's go ahead and cut a piece for Missy Jen here, and let's see how that looks. Oh, that has pecans in it too, and you can see right in the center there. is right where the cinnamon layer brown sugar. So I'm going to go ahead and give Missy Jen a napkin and a fork here, and let her go ahead and sample that. We got a really nice coffee cake here. I'm going to go ahead and cut myself a piece too. Give that a whirl. Yeah, it turned out really nice. You can swirl that if you want a little bit. Do all that, but I would say that turned out pretty good.
Really nice when you hit one of those pecans. You have a flavor of the cinnamon, and then you get a touch of pecan.
Yeah, I toasted. They call for walnut generally in this cake, but I went ahead and toasted. I had some. I had about a half a cup of leftover pecans in the freezer, and they freeze real well. Nuts. Ellie showed me that, and then hey Tara, nice to see you, sweetie. And I took them out and toasted them up.
Morning, Tara.
That's good.
It's very delicious. It's nice and light.
And like I say, you do have that layer of cinnamon. I'll probably make this when Tara comes to visit.
And then on top, when you hit that vanilla flavor icing, that adds another nice flavor to it. So it's a great flavor composition.
I don't think I ever had a apple dumpling, to tell you the truth. I'll give you a look inside of the cake there. You can see the pecans swirled in there. Okay, look. Good morning, Joey D. Nice to see you, honey. And there is our cinnamon pecan swirl coffee cake. And I think that really is delicious, Jen. It really turned out good. Good flavor.
Yeah, it's great. Top vanilla flavor with the icing. Nice and fluffy cake. Really nice when you hit the pecans, and then you've got the cinnamon in between. And then as you hit the bottom layer, you'll have another pecan in between. And
it's interesting, Tara. I don't think I ever had an apple dumpling. I've had apple strudel. Yeah, it really turned out. It's extremely flavorful, and it'll give Jen something nice for breakfast here.
It's very light.
Very moist too, which I'm ecstatic about.
Did they have apple cubes in the dumplings?
Yeah, I never would associate Arkansas with apples. They generally tend to be a northern crop. They need a certain amount of cool temperatures in winter. And won't be long. Tara will be here at an undisclosed time. Come up on the rancho again. BMAX says, have you ever tried baking while boondocking like in a Dutch oven? I'm going to do that. I'm going to be partially disengaging myself from TR Preppers Tuesday night chat. Reason being, I want to start going out boondocking beginning Tuesday afternoon into Wednesday, like I did last week. So, yeah, it made you remember your mother's marble cakes. Yeah, it's kind of the same theory as the marble cake. The marble cake, you would then go ahead with the marble cake. Once you put your, you have a layer of batter, then you put your cinnamon, brown sugar layer on, then you put the rest of the batter on top. And then people would actually take a stick or like a chopstick and then run through the batter to swirl it around without raising it up through the top surface, and that would create all those swirls. You want another piece, honey? Mm-hmm. That's always a good sign. And this is really not a very fatty cake, so there's very little. Yeah. When's the last time people made the chocolate and vanilla marble cakes? Yep. Exactly.
In Germany, they made this big, like a big pan, about an inch thick of marble cake. And then I put this icing on top in
hey, Aussie! Oi, oi, oi!
Oi, 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 Aussie!
You sexy beast! Nice to see Aussie.
Good day, mate.
How's it, mate? No? How's it going, mate? Hmm? Always great to see Aussie. When I was a teen, I would eat a marble cake for breakfast while watching the Bugs Bunny show. Yay, Carlos. Yay, Carlos woke up with a boner this morning. That's awesome. Good news, Carlos. Everything's still functioning, babe.
You're still alive, Carlos.
It's another day in paradise. You and Elvis. That's it. Thank you, Aussie. Aussie, look at how that turned out, mate. Huh? I'd be proud to serve you at the rancho with that baby. That is our cinnamon swirl with pecans, coffee cake with vanilla glaze on top of it. And it is delicious. Nice to see you, Carlos. Hope you're doing okay. All right. Yeah, it turned out good. A little bit of bikini baking. I really don't know how much more I'm going to do, because once it gets hot in that kitchen, it's vicious in there to try to cook in the summertime and bacon. It's a nice day in Chicago today. What I might do is set up outside cooking and get a little bit of light. Maybe build a little fire pit and do something outside, a little outside streaming. Fritz Freeling was born in Kansas City, Missouri. That's actually one of my favorite cities. I got too much going on this summer. I had to cancel my trip out to Kansas City and Des Moines. It's just impossible for me to get away. There's too much going on. Jackie Macy, how you doing, sweetie? Yeah, Jen's new hair is awesome.
Hello, yep. Jackie. Thank you.
And Jackie, we're just enjoying a little bit of a cinnamon pecan swirl coffee cake this morning. Delicious. And it's always good to see Carlos Martinez in the house. He's on the prowl for Elvis. If you're on the prowl for Elvis, you better hang around Devon Avenue. over there. That's where all the ethnic Indian and Middle Eastern Lebanese, Jordanian restaurants. Yeah, the coffee cake is delicious, isn't it, Jen? I'd say that's a winning recipe. But I was going to say, BMAC gave me an idea of doing some outside baking. Might do something with a Dutch oven or something like that. Build a fire out there. That could be a lot of fun. It's a lot nicer outside. Just
great flavor composition between the vanilla icing and the cinnamon layer in between. And for me, always the real highlight is always the baked pecans.
like
when you have
the
toasted pecans, when you hit one of those,
boom.
It's just like a flavor explosion in your mouth.
I would say a lot of recipes, unfortunately, when people go to make the recipe, if it calls for walnuts, pecans, they'll bust up the pecans and walnuts into smaller sized pieces, but they don't toast them. They put those walnuts and pecans into the cake, and unfortunately, you're sort of wasting the flavor profile. If you put them in a pan with a little bit of butter and a little bit of sugar and toast them up and caramelize them, when people bite into them in the coffee cake, it's an amazing, it just intensifies so much and makes it so delicious, the flavor on that. So yeah, we will be down in LA towards the end of the month. That'll be the extent of our really our summer vacation, except for Tara coming up. Tara says, I would like to see a pie made with a pistachio nut crust, gluten-free. Now, I saw you sent me that picture of that pie that you had with just such a crust. It looked like a store-bought thing, Tara. That looked pretty good. So. I'm going to go ahead. I want this to dry out. I'm going to go put this in the kitchen, and I'm going to put the glass cover on top of it. That'll keep it nice. I think I'll just pull that out and take a picture later. Hold that up to the camera, but for now, I'll cover that under the dome of doom.
Come here, George. I'm going to be in a video. Come over here. Let's see. Tara says, Jen, I like your big yellow tractor you had in a video lately. Oh, the backhoe front loader international harvester tractor that I had in the hangout last Saturday. I'm actually thinking about making a video because I haven't made a tractor video in a while, and I was looking at it yesterday and I thought I have not made a review video on that. And the nice thing is, in one of the Pawn Star shows, they had one of them just like that, one of the models on a shelf in good condition. And the model that I have is in very good condition. And they are really hard to find in such good condition. If you go like on online and you search for that kind of model, and generally you will find them either with missing parts or just really rusted out and torn up. And since I actually am fortunate to have a model that is in really good shape, I should make a tractor review model video on that. So thank you for liking that model. So I think I will go ahead and make a review video on that. It's a model that's actually from the late 70s, early 80s. So it's actually quite old. And it is almost, that's about 85% at least metal. The front loader, the shovel, the rear backhoe, everything is all solid metal, all moving parts. The cab's all metal. Basically, the only things that are plastic on that is the hood, the seat, and the tires. Everything else is metal on that.
All right.
So, yeah. And it's a International Harvester.
IH.
Yeah, AIH.
Well, I think that's going to conclude. We're going to make it short today. I've got a lot of work to do outside. Missy Jen's cracking the whip here. I've got to get the irrigation system set up. I will see you guys. I will post the Hangout 5 p.m. Cinco de Mayo special.
On
tonight.
5/5 at 5 o'clock.
Hang out. You get extra points for having your Mexican wear on tonight. So I want to thank you guys for being along this morning and sharing our cinnamon pecan swirl coffee cake. And I will see all of you, as will Missy Jen, tonight.
Have a wonderful day.